Welcome to A to Zephyr with Ryan Nauman from Zephyr. In this podcast, we help wealth managers, financial advisors, and asset managers overcome challenges in creating meaningful investor relationship experiences. We do this by introducing innovations driven by Zephyr's cutting-edge technology and global financial insights. Join us for this journey where we dive into pioneering wealth management strategies as Zephyr draws from decades of experience and guest financial wizards to address the nuances of investment management.
Hello and welcome to the A to Zephyr podcast. I'm your moderator, Bill Tucker, and I'm joined today by Chris Volpe, Director of Zephyr, Randy Jones, Product Manager at Zephyr, and Ryan Nauman, Market Strategist. Guys, good to be with you again.
Oh, good to be with you, Bill.
Yep.
Always a pleasure.
No, it's always a pleasure and always really, really interesting. And the thing I want to emphasize for people who are new to this podcast is that we are talking about investment management software used by financial advisors, wealth managers, asset managers, financial analysts, RIAs, trust advisors. Well, you get the picture. And this podcast addresses the many ways that peers in this industry use it to give you a quick look under the hood. And Zephyr allows its customers to optimize portfolios, including risk tolerance, compliance, performance, proposal generation, and more. And so, Chris, I'm going to start with this question for you. Why is it so important to provide this level of personalized service and product to people?
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, look, it's fascinating to me a little bit because personalization is all over our lives, whether we know about it or not. Just log into Google and you see, ads that are tailored for you, or, you set up your profile here and they customize what you see or how you see it. Netflix does it all the time, right? All the streaming services do it. So personalization is out there in everybody's everyday lives. I think the financial services industry lags behind a little bit in the ability to do things like that. I think it's a combination of, things like the complexity of investments, the number of people that an advisor deals with, and the software they're using or however. But people are used to it now, and to not do it or not be able to do it puts you at a distinct disadvantage to your competition. Chris Volpe doesn't want necessarily the same reports or the same information on his investments that Randy Jones does, right? Randy might want to see much more detail because he's way smarter than Chris is, right? Chris just wants to know, I want to retire in 5 years. Am I there? And how much excess do I have? Period, right? You could do Chris with one page. Randy might want to know much more information. And Ryan might want to know more even still because of his background. He's much more into it. It interests him and everything else. Not being able to do that or the ability to do that is critical to building and maintaining an advisor or even, asset management business.
I agree. I mean, it's like if I do a search for dishwashers, the next time I go on the internet, I've got 15 ads for dishwashers popping up everywhere.
Exactly.
So you're right. It surrounds us. Anybody else want to weigh in on that one?
Yeah, I will. Chris was spot on. And because that personalization is all over in every part of our daily lives, investors are demanding a more personalized experience, whether that is through, like Chris talked about, reports, through communication, or through investments. And rightfully so. They should demand personalization. Every investor is unique and should be treated with unique services and products.
Well, then, Ryan, let's stay with you and ask what are some of the areas that financial advisors can provide a more personalized service and product?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. There are a lot of different ways financial advisors can create a personalized service-oriented practice. At the end of the day, it all starts with listening to your client so you can learn what they expect from the service you offer and what makes them unique. Crafting a personalized service for your clients becomes a pipe dream if you do not listen and fully understand your client's needs and wishes. This will help determine what type of personalized service and personalized investments you should offer. Personalization can happen through customized reports, unique investment portfolios, investments that better align with your clients' values or more personalized communications. Bill, does your client prefer in-person meetings or electronic communication or a good old-fashioned phone call? That's all adds a personalized touch.
Yeah, it really does. And Randy, I want to bring you in this conversation because I want to ask you about the role that Zephyr plays in all of this. How can financial advisors leverage wealth management technology like Zephyr's to provide a more personalized client experience?
Well, it covers a number of the components that you mentioned in the introduction, but it really starts with data, having the ability to access, say, our PSN SMA data. Our clients would want to have a way to have vehicles that could be personalized to their investing strategy. Then we move on to, say, portfolio proposals. That's really the first touch point that our clients would have with their client. So they certainly want to make that as personalized as they can. And then we have customized portfolios in general, which, outside of the proposal process. Again, as time changes, portfolios change. We want to have a way to continue to personalize that portfolio, potentially including ESG. If we want to have a tilt on a portfolio that includes components of ESG, can be personalized from that perspective. And as Chris mentioned earlier, the custom reporting is the huge one, in that once all of that work has been done, what does that personalized, content look like, as you meet with your client going forward? So really those are the big components in the way Zephyr addresses really personalized, or providing a personalized approach for our clients to their client or prospect.
Can you go a little bit more in depth regarding the role that Zephyr plays in offering a personalized service and provide some examples of how financial advisors leverage Zephyr in this regard?
Well, let's start with the first touch point. I guess we'll start with the proposal. So Zephyr allows at the household level. So when we're looking at a personalized view, let's say we're working with a family, husband and wife. The husband has, say, an IRA, has investments. The wife may have an IRA or a 401k plan. It has investments. So one is really understanding what they have now, but depending on how personalized those are, but we do want to have somewhat of a lens to see what they currently invest in. Then based on the conversations, maybe a risk assessment, the advisor, our client, could then propose a model portfolio that is even more personalized than the investments they have now. So it's looking at what they have now, taking that one step further, understanding more about the client, investing maybe in a model portfolio that you have created that would even add more value and be even more personalized. Our clients also use our optimization area, modeling for creating personalized portfolios. So if we're not sure, then we can select strategies that would be appropriate on a personalized level and then come up with the optimal portfolio there. The next, as I mentioned, would be ESG. If we do see sort of the wealth transfer, we've talked to clients and, let's, for example, say that environmental of the three is an important component that we'd like to optimize or maximize in a portfolio. We have a way to construct portfolios that have a tilt to investments that perform strongly with our ESG analysis on, say, environment. But then we can also include social and governance. So there's that personalized component that could be used at the ESG level.
I'm sorry. I just want to jump in for a second, because one of the interesting things, like when I listen to what you're saying, there isn't just per investor, right? There's per family, right? I may not care about the environment, right? I'll be long dead, but being able for an advisor to be able to show my wife or my kids the same investments in a different light or from a different perspective, and adding in the ESG component and changing things around at scale, right? Because if he's just using PowerPoint and spreadsheets and all that other stuff to create these, it's really difficult to do. But what Randy was saying is there are so many different facets that you can customize, not just between investors, but within an investment household. Sorry, Randy, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
well, no, and then reporting, and the reporting is really the last one, right? The personalized reporting that Chris mentioned earlier, that could include or not include content that demonstrates the most personalized aspect. So whether that's a one-page piece that could be laid out differently for even within a household, it could be a 50-page piece that really digs into other components. We use what we call the 7 lenses when we're analyzing, a portfolio. But as Chris mentioned, maybe there's a different report for the children that would really focus in on the personalized components, call it environment, that could be totally different from other members of a household if we're talking about the household. But the Zephyr's real powerful in that the tailor-made customized reports on a personalized level, whether everyone's in the same family, in different families, it really is our strength to be able to, as the end, just present that personalized value add in the way of our customized reporting.
Well, let me ask you this. Can a financial advisor, oftentimes when you go in and sit down with a financial advisor for the first time, they ask you, do you have investments? And you say, yeah, I have an IRA. Can they bring in that IRA and their investments in it? Can Zephyr be used to analyze that IRA and maybe give them some insights into how they've invested that they haven't thought about? And then the financial advisor suggests maybe different paths they want to take. Some people, I think, are convinced they don't really know what
Absolutely.
they've invested in.
Yeah. No, one is dissecting what they currently have and presenting that back to, say, a prospect, and then certainly have validation for why you would make changes based on, learning more about their prospect. But yes, absolutely, that's how our clients would use Zephyr.
Yeah, it's interesting. Ryan, are there investment products that offer more personalization?
That's a great question, Bill. And, Chris and Randy talked about the importance of customized reports to add to that personalized touch. And a lot of times we associate personalization with custom reports or custom investment portfolios. But there has been a lot of great innovation within investment products over the years to help financial advisors offer more personalized investments to their clients. For example, direct indexing has exploded in popularity. So too have separately managed accounts, or SMAs. SMAs really should be the first investment vehicle a financial advisor should consider when they're looking for a managed product that offers personalization and the ability to customize the holdings while providing transparency and control. And when a financial advisor, is searching for the perfect SMA, a financial advisor can start by leveraging Zephyr's industry-leading PSN database that has been collecting data on SMA since 1984 and includes more than 2,800 firms and in 20,000 strategies. So SMAs, when you're looking to offer a more personalized approach to investments, SMAs should be front and center when offering, just because of their the benefits and the characteristics that they offer.
Yeah, as you guys talk, I recall the conversation, that my wife and I had with my financial advisor, right? And it was an assessment of risk. And I was like, well, I'm way more risk tolerant than my wife. My wife is more conservative. And she's like, yes, that's right. I'm much more conservative. But nobody could present a portfolio representing those to us so that my wife would have an understanding of what she was saying and an understanding of what I was saying. And it sounds to me like Zephyr would offer a financial advisor the perfect opportunity to do something like that and say, this is what a conservative portfolio looks like. This is what a portfolio with more risk looks like, so that it's demonstrable to the client.
Yeah, you're exactly correct. And Zephyr offers every step along that journey. And Randy kind of talked about it earlier. And the example that you talk about is starting with that risk profile and then a proposal generation by creating. You'd probably want 2 optimized portfolios. Zephyr allows you to create optimized portfolios that align with your risk profile. And then in your case, you'd probably have 2 portfolios, one that's more conservative on the efficient frontier and one that's more aggressive. And we can create those optimized portfolios and include different investments that align with your investment objectives, your goals, your risk tolerance, and even your values, like within ESG.
Yeah.
And to build on that, when we look at optimizing, whether it's at the household level, whether it's at the individuals in the household level, we can take into account expenditures or inflows, financial goals that could be, as a household level, can also be incorporated in that optimization process, where we actually take into account, expected expenditures or financial goals down the road can also be part of that process at a very personalized level.
Oh, that's interesting. So you can, a financial advisor can sit there and talk to somebody and say, these events are going to be coming up, and we can incorporate those events, like the sale of a house, the move to another home. They can be structured into the portfolio. Yes. That's interesting. That's great.
And you can do different scenarios too, right? Like I don't know what's going to happen. I still have kids in school and whatever. And so I can, I work on different scenarios with my advisor very quickly and easily. And being able to see that and being able to talk through that and everything else is incredibly valuable to people. And so advisors that are able to do that, I think have an edge.
Yeah, no, I think so, because it would give them better information, and they can see that when the information changes, their portfolios can change, and things, their investment allotments can change. Well, Chris, let's start with a final tip here. What can you give us in terms of final tips for enhancing the client experience through personalization? Talk to the financial advisors out there and the RIAs.
Oh God, look, I feel like a broken record, right? It's listen, right? God gave you one mouth and two ears for a reason, right? Understand their needs, understand what they want, and then craft back at them. As people who have been through different training or different businesses or different schools or whatever.
Yeah.
It's tell them once, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them again. Right. And so listening to what a client wants, understanding their real needs, and then play it back to them in their investments, play it back to them in a report, play it back to them so that they feel and they know that you heard not just what they were saying, but really what their needs are and what they're looking at. And then, ask questions to clarify. But once you get to that level, look, in the end, it's a service business, right? It's easy to move money now. I don't have to talk to an advisor if I don't want to. I can go to intelligent portfolios or whatever. And with AI, enhancing that experience, it's a service business, and that service that you provide goes miles.
Yeah, it really does. Ryan, you want to jump in here and offer something in the way of a summary, or?
Yeah, and go along with what Chris said. Offering a personalized service and products isn't an option anymore. It's table stakes if you want to stay competitive and have your business stand out. And is a requirement if you want to build a long-lasting, successful wealth management firm. Offering a personalized service and products, like I said, is table stakes. And like Chris said, and I said at the beginning, you have to listen. It's so important from the moment that you meet a prospect or a client is to listen to what they need and what their wishes are. And if you want to survive in this ultra-competitive space, it's important that you provide solutions that meet the increased demand for personalization. Leveraging Zephyr allows you to create personalized investment portfolios, those customized reports that are so important, personalized proposals, and allows you to search for SMAs that will help you set yourself apart from your competition while doing it efficiently. And you're not using spreadsheets or anything. You can create that personalized approach efficiently with an application like Zephyr.
All right, good. Chris, why don't you tell the folks out here? I know that the contact information and everything is in the show notes, but just as a reminder, can you give us some idea of resources or ideas in terms of how they want to get a hold of you and maybe the things that advisors who reach out to you can talk about with you?
Yeah, so head on over to zephyrfinancialsolutions.com, get a feel for the platform, give us a call. You can email us at zephyrinfo, that's ZEPHYR info@informa.com. Shoot me an email, chris.volpe@informa.com, and I'm happy to help you work through it or get whatever you need to make your business better. In the end, our goal is to make your business better. And any way we can help you do that, we're going to do it.
Yeah. And as Ryan noted, this is an intensely competitive space. And this is a product which potentially offers a way to differentiate the services that financial advisors can provide to their clients. Guys, thanks so much. As always, it's great meeting with you and listening to you and hearing about this product. Listeners, reach out. What can I tell you? Just start a conversation and see if this tool can be useful for you. If you're not a subscriber to the podcast, you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It comes out somewhat irregularly, and that way you don't have to wonder if there was a new podcast or not, because you will be alerted and notified, and you will be able to join in the most current conversation. On behalf of Chris, Randy, and Ryan, I'm Bill Tucker, thanking you for listening and reminding you to go out today and make it a great day, or not. It's your choice. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening to A to Zephyr. Click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available, and be sure to check today's show notes on how you can get in touch with us. Once again, thank you for listening. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Zephyr. The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning.